Have you ever tried to save something just to realize it was actually saving you? That's what happened to me. I came back from war, but I didn't feel like I was home. I wasn't the same. My body was fine, but my mind, it was still out there. People said I was lucky, but every night I lay in the dark, wishing I hadn't made it back. I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't sleep. I was angry, empty, alone. Then one night, in the middle of a storm, I saw him, a stray dog, soaking wet, bones showing through his skin. He looked like he'd given up. I took him in, fed him, gave him a name. I thought I was the one saving him. But what I didn't know was that he was about to pull me out of the darkest place I'd ever been. It was raining hard that night. The streets were empty, cold, quiet. I was walking, lost in my own thoughts. Couldn't sleep again. My mind was too loud. Then I saw something move near a trash bin. At first I thought it was a shadow, but then it looked up. It was a dog, small, soaking wet, bones showing through his fur. He didn't bark, didn't growl. He just stared at me with these tired eyes. He looked done, like he'd given up. For a second, we just stood there, two strangers, both a little broken. I stepped closer, slow. He didn't run. He didn't move at all. I knelt down and held out my hand. He sniffed it, then looked up at me again. That's when I saw the cuts, the scars. This dog had been through something. No collar, no tags, just skin and bones. I didn't think. I just took off my jacket and wrapped him in it. "Come on, buddy," I said. I don't know why I called him that. It just came out. He didn't fight me. He let me pick him up, like he had nothing left to lose. When we got home, I gave him a towel, a blanket, and whatever food I had. He ate like he hadn't seen food in days. Then he curled up on the floor, right next to my bed. He didn't know me. He didn't owe me anything. But for some reason, he stayed. I looked at him for a long time that night. Maybe I saw myself in him, alone, worn out, just trying to survive. I decided to call him Chance, because that's what he felt like. A second chance. For both of us. That night, something shifted. I didn't feel so alone. I thought I had rescued him, but deep down, I think he had found me, and I had no idea just how much I would need him in the days ahead. The first few days were quiet. Chance didn't bark, didn't play. He mostly stayed in one spot, watching me from a distance. His eyes were tired, like he'd seen too much. I understood that look. I saw it in the mirror every day. He flinched when I moved too fast, wouldn't take food from my hand at first. I didn't push him. I knew what it felt like to be scared of the world, so I gave him space, time. We were both learning how to feel safe again. But little things started to change. One morning, I woke up and he was sleeping right next to my bed, just quietly lying there, like he wanted to make sure I was okay. The next day, he followed me into the kitchen, then into the hallway, then outside. He started waiting for me by the door when I got back from the store, like he had someone to wait for again. I started to talk to him. Not big things, just little stuff. What I was doing, what I was thinking. He didn't answer, of course, but somehow it helped. I'd say, "Come on, Chance, let's get some air." And we'd go on short walks, quiet walks. Some days I didn't want to move, but he'd sit by the door, leash in his mouth, looking up at me. So I got up, because he needed me. And slowly, I realized I needed him too. I started waking up with purpose, not because I wanted to, but because he gave me a reason to. Feeding him, walking him, brushing his fur. They became small routines, but those routines gave my days meaning. He didn't care about my past, didn't judge the bad days, didn't flinch when I was quiet or sad. He just stayed close. That quiet kind of love. The kind that says, "You're not alone." I was still broken, still healing. But something was different now. The house didn't feel so empty. My mind didn't feel so loud. Every time he looked at me, it felt like he was saying, "I've got you." And I believed him. Because for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was drowning. Chance was more than just a dog now. He was the start of something new, the beginning of something I thought I had lost. Hope. It happened out of nowhere. One minute I was fine. The next, I wasn't. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room was dark, but my mind was full of noise. Memories, sounds, screams, stuff I had buried deep, stuff I didn't want to remember. Then it all came rushing back. The dirt, the heat, the sound of explosions, friends who didn't make it home. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt tight. My hands started shaking. I rolled out of bed and hit the floor. My heart was pounding so hard, it felt like it might break through my ribs. I wanted it to stop. I wanted everything to just go quiet. But the panic wouldn't let go. I curled into a ball, arms over my head. I was back there, back in the place I swore I'd never go again. And then I felt something, warm, steady, gentle. It was Chance. He didn't bark, didn't whine. He just laid his head on my chest. No fear, no questions, just calm. His breathing was slow, and somehow mine started to match it. In and out, in and out. I didn't say a word. He didn't need me to. He just stayed there, like he knew, like he had seen this before. And maybe, in his own way, he had. We were both survivors. Of different battles, maybe, but battles all the same. That night, something changed. Not on the outside, but deep inside me. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel completely lost. I had fallen apart. But I wasn't alone when it happened. Chance was there. He didn't leave. That meant something. I wasn't just a broken man anymore. I was someone who was being held together by a dog who had once been just as broken as me. That moment became a turning point. I realized healing wasn't about forgetting. It was about not going through the pain alone. Chance showed me that. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. His silence said everything. I'm here. I'm staying. And you're going to be okay. And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. After that night, something inside me shifted. It wasn't like flipping a switch. It was slow, quiet, but real. I started talking again. Not just to Chance, but to people. My brother, a friend from the army, a neighbor. At first, it felt strange, like my voice didn't fit in my mouth, but it got easier. One day, I picked up the phone and called a therapist. I didn't know what to say, but I showed up anyway. Chance sat outside the door and waited the whole time. Every week, we went back. And every week, I felt a little lighter. I started taking longer walks, not just around the block, but into the woods, along the river. Chance was always by my side, head high, tail wagging, like he knew we were going somewhere better. He wasn't just a pet anymore. He was part of me, my lifeline. When I had bad days, he was there. When I had good days, he was still there. No judgment, no pressure, just love. One afternoon at the park, I met another vet. He had the same look I used to have, that hollow stare, that quiet pain. We talked. I told him about Chance. He listened. Then he told me about his own struggles. And that's when something clicked. I realized I wasn't alone. And maybe, just maybe, I could help someone else feel the same. So I started volunteering. There was a group that matched rescue dogs with veterans. I showed up to tell my story about war, about pain, about healing, and about chance. People listened. Some cried. Some stayed after to talk. I met men and women who had lost more than I could imagine. But when they met their dogs, I saw something change. I saw what chance had given me: hope. He saved me so I could help save others. I never planned for any of this. I didn't think I had anything to offer. But my pain had a purpose now. My story had weight, and sharing it helped. Chance wasn't just part of my healing. He was the reason I started living again. He reminded me that even when life breaks you down, you can still build something back. Something stronger, something better. And every time I see another vet holding their new dog for the first time, I see it all over again. That same look, that same moment, that same second chance. Sometimes I still think about that night in the rain. The night I found Chance. I thought I was doing a good thing. I thought I was helping him. But now I know the truth. He helped me more than I could ever help him. When I was lost, he showed me the way. When I was drowning, he kept me afloat. When I felt like nothing, he made me feel like someone. He didn't care about my past. He didn't need me to be perfect. He just needed me to show up. And because of him, I did. Chance didn't speak a single word, but he said more with his presence than anyone else ever could. He saw me at my lowest, and he stayed. He stayed when it was dark. He stayed when I broke down. He stayed when I had nothing to give. And somehow, that was enough. I look at him now, strong, healthy, full of life. You'd never guess he was once a scared, starving stray. Kind of like how people look at me now, smiling, walking tall, laughing again. But we both remember. We carry the past quietly, without shame, because it made us who we are. And now, we use it to help others. Every vet we meet, every dog we help, it's all part of the story. Our story. I thought I was saving him that night. But the truth is, he was already saving me. And maybe that's what healing really looks like. Not one person fixing another, but two broken souls choosing to hold on together. So if you've ever rescued someone or something, ask yourself this: who's really saving who? Dogs truly are the most loyal companions in our lives. What did you think of this heartwarming story? Let us know in the comments. Like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for daily emotional dog stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click here to watch the next story of love, loyalty, and the incredible bond we share with our paw-some friends.